Hi, people. We are live in the studio for another interesting edition of Unscripted with Tiwa Says. And you know how we do it. No books, no notes. We just say it as it comes. And of course, I'm not doing this alone. I have a guest in the house. And I'm going to allow her to introduce herself before we get into it. So let's meet you.
Good morning. Hi, people. My name is Adenike Adedokun Esther.
You hear that? Adenike Adedokun Esther Ebony. This is what they call melanin popping, ebony beauty. Okay, so Nike, tell us about yourself.
Okay, so like I said, I'm Adenike.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently a professional student in the Institute of ICANN. So I'm in my professional stage at ICANN. And
Okay.
also, I found interest in marketing. I've
Mm.
loved business at a very young age, but now I'm currently like pivoting into the marketing and branding space at the moment. So, what do I love to do? I love to plan. I'm very attentive to details. I love I love numbers. I mean, that's why
And
I'm
that's
an
why you're in
accountant.
accounting.
So I think that's very
So is
much.
it true what they say that accountants don't like to spend money?
No.
Eh?
No, that's not true.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, that's not true. No.
Okay, you just what's the word? Rationalize budget. Okay, this before you
No,
spend,
but
or you count to the last penny, or you
the,
want to buy something and you go to 10 people before you decide that okay, this one
yes,
makes sense.
there's that. And we also like to know where our money is going to. It's not like we don't
Okay.
like to spend. So yeah, we like to know where our money is going to and where it's coming from. So inflow and outflow, like
Mm,
we are very intentional about where it goes and where
okay,
it's coming from. So
that's good. Me too. We are intentional about where it's going. More about where it's going than where it's coming from. Okay, so apart from being a student, what else do you do right now?
okay, like I said, pivoting to
Mm-hmm.
brand and marketing, which I've been like making awareness and content about. And
Okay.
aside that, I have a YouTube channel too where I talk about myself, like as a
Mm.
person,
Mm.
my faith and other like productivity things about. It's just like sharing my life journey. That's what the YouTube channel is
Mm.
about. So
Okay.
that's
So
very
how do you make ends meet? Which one brings in money at the end of the month?
okay, so apparently I've been making money from my pivot into marketing. Last year I
Okay.
held a class on content creation, which
Okay.
has been bringing, some money. Also, I have digital products. Like I think December I wrote an ebook on content ideas because I noticed that a lot of businesses, actually my niche is small businesses. So
Okay.
I see that a lot of businesses don't know how to maximize the online space to their advantage. So I wrote
Okay.
a book on content ideas that businesses, some certain niches should focus on to maximize their online space. So I make money from that too.
Okay. And how has that been going?
That's been going
Pretty
really
well.
well, yes, because I like I said, I'm very attentive to details, and as someone that is into marketing, you have to be research inclined. So I use the internet a lot, and
Okay.
from my usage, I see people clamoring that okay, we have to be online now. We don't know what to post. We don't know what to do. So from
Mm.
those concerns, I picked out
Okay.
something to monetize from that, which was the idea behind the.
Um. Hmm. Interesting. So when you're not doing that, what are you doing? Like, what do you do for a hobby?
I read. To be honest, I'm not like the typical Nigerian that watch movies. I read.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm
Some
sorry,
of us are
but
typical Nigerians.
I I
So you
I
don't watch
can
movies at all?
I can spend a week watching one movie. Yes.
Ah, that
I
means
don't
the movie is not interesting.
I don't watch movies, and weirdly so, I like to spend time alone. Yeah, yes. So when I'm not so, okay, one of the things that maybe a lot of people do that I also do is I spend a lot of time on the internet. So I can call myself a phone addict. So when I'm not doing that, I'm
Mm.
reading. I'm just like that.
Phone addicts.
Yeah.
You are the people that we are talking about.
I'm
So
trying.
how does that okay, because in all these things that you have said now, pivoting, marketing, accounting, I've not heard man there.
Man.
Yes.
Oh, I'm actually single. Actually,
She's single.
yes.
Why am I not surprised? When she's addicted to phone.
That's not the reason. That's not the reason, actually.
Okay, what's the reason? Can you help us?
Well, the reason is, of course, I'm a Christian, and I believe that there is God's perfect will, right? So, I mean, the people that I've been meeting are good people, but they are mismatched in the values. Yes, so mismatch in values is the major reason why. It's not like I'm waiting for Mr. Perfect.
Exactly, because there's
Yes,
no, you see
there's
that
a
I'm
thin
being
line between.
There's nothing like that too.
Okay.
Because even you are not perfect.
I
So
know
if you are going to be ticking the boxes, you cannot be waiting to tick all.
Okay, let me give an example now.
Okay.
The last person I was with, how I knew that we cannot work is because, for example, now that person believes in you know, witches, wizard, cast, like every symbol is a meaning, and I wasn't brought up like that. We are going to clash somewhere. We are going to have issues somewhere. So it wasn't working for me. And also, you know, the kind of person I am, it's not like he's not educated, but he uses abbreviations a lot, and it comes off as
In
like,
talking or in texting?
In texting,
yes,
and
I don't like
I
in
can't
texting.
deal.
Yes.
It might be small, but it means a lot to me.
It's annoying.
Yes, so I mean, type out.
But you know, those kind of things, they are things that you can easily correct.
Yeah, but
you
there's
can
a
just
lot
tell the
more.
person that uncle, please be completing your sentence or
I've done
something.
that
It shouldn't be
several
so
times.
difficult.
There's a lot more. Okay, let me give another example. We had a conversation, and I was like, okay, where do you see yourself in a few years from now? He was like, okay, he wants to have a small shop where, you know, you can put someone there, and like, he didn't align. He didn't align.
It's
There
a red
was
flag.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't align at all. So I had to, like, no, if we know that we don't want to, it just didn't align. Like, I had to cut it short.
I understand that, because if even the Bible says, how can two
work together
except they agree? Amos 3:3. I know that one. I know it.
So there was no way.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so for, you know, because I'm sure I have single viewers watching. So for that purpose, what is your kind of man exactly?
I don't want too much. I'm not asking for too much. But I mean, the most important thing is God fearing. A man that is God fearing.
Everybody, they fear God now. Everybody's God fearing.
But that is intentional about God. A man that, you know, there are different Christian denominations now, and you can, I would almost say that some denominations are a mismatch. You know, like, I don't want to call names, but there are some denominations that are clearly a mismatch, even if they are both Christians that are intentional about serving God. So there has to be a match. We cannot be unequally yoked. Even two believers can be unequally yoked. So we have to be on the same page. A man that is family oriented, a man that is kind and attractive. To be honest, I'm very attracted to looks. So
you're attracted to looks. You want Jesus, you want looks. You have to pick one. No.
It's not too much.
You have to pick one. If you see a God-fearing somebody that is ugly,
well, looks is a social construct. It could be that
you can't have everything.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to looks, I can find someone attractive and someone else finds him otherwise. So
okay, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly.
So the person has to be fine to you. Does not mean the person has to be
exactly.
fine to everybody. Does not mean that, okay, when everybody says, this is a fine man. Because, you know, there's a problem with having fine men.
Actually,
because if you have, everybody wants a fine man. So if you want a fine man, they be ready for what comes with that.
Some people say don't be with a man that knows his worth.
Wow. That is deep. Don't be with a man that knows his worth. That's deep.
Yeah.
Okay, so in all this, your while you've been searching for Mr. Right and all, this your phone issue has not come up. Your last person, he didn't complain about you being addicted to phone.
No,
Yeah,
Actually,
sure.
no. Actually, it's a long distance relationship. So your phone,
Ah.
we are relied on the phone actually.
So you
So
believe in long distance relationship?
yes, I can work with it
Why?
because even if you are here, what have we doing? Okay, for example, now I when I was in school, I once dated a guy that we didn't see for months on my own account, like because
Okay, excuse me. How can you be dating somebody and you are not seeing for months? I really need to understand which type of dating is that one.
I feel like we can keep it alive on the phone.
How?
I don't know why I think that way, but weirdly so. That's my POV.
Wow. Okay, so let's think about this hypothesis. Okay, let's assume that there were no phones. How do you have a relationship?
But their phones is hard to
Eh,
take.
eh, eh, eh.
We'll send letters.
Because when I was growing up, at some point before the advent of phone, there was no phone. There was no phone. And then of course you still see each other. You still go to each other's houses, meet at certain places, go out for fun and all that. Because I believe that if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody and then you want to get to know the person, auntie, you need to see the person.
Yeah.
Because I can be anything over the phone.
Actually.
Yeah, I can be anything over the phone now because I can tell you what you want to hear. Apart from the fact of this abbreviation, chatting in abbreviations, hey, that's a no-no. I don't, in fact, if somebody sends me a message, somebody I'm meeting for the first time and then is abbreviation, in fact, I will not even reply because in my mind, I've already sized you up. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I know the kind of person this person is going to be from that your abbreviation, so that's a no-no for me as well. But as much as technology is nice and all that, but if you're going to be in a relationship, I have to see you. Why do you not want to see the person? Why are you comfortable with long distance? Why? I need to
Well,
know.
maybe I can make an excuse for myself because I was a student. I mean, we're 1 year apart, so I was busy. I was okay. I started my professional course when I was in school, so that's because I remember I was in class when I got a text that now wow months we've not seen blah blah blah. So maybe I can create an excuse that I was busy.
And you are in a relationship. Eh? That's what they say in your relationship with yourself. Okay, so you are not in the same school.
We were.
Eh?
When you say
Help me. You were
Yeah.
in the same school. Okay, so how did you see for months? You were not in the same department.
No, we were not. But our school, I attended Uni Osun and it runs on multi-campus. So which means that the campus we were was very small. That it's possible that we even like stumble upon each other while like going about our business. But
oh, you were in the same campus?
the
Or
same
he
campus.
was in another
Okay,
campus?
we were in the same campus, but that particular campus had two faculties. So I was in the management, he was in the social sciences. So if I go to the social sciences, there's every probability that I might stumble and meet him, but we just didn't see whether by chance or intentional or.
There's fire on the mountain.
Don't judge me.
There's fire on the mountain. So you people did not do like, no, wait, I can't even
Now
fathom.
that I think of it, me too, I cannot.
I can't fathom because okay, I know that we are different, in some ways. Some people like their space, they like to be in their space and they don't like you to be so much in your space and all that.
Yeah.
But then you are in a relationship, so okay, if it's that way, then maybe you should not even be in a relationship. Because if you're in a relationship with someone, why am I in a relationship? Okay, why would you want to be in a relationship?
For affiliation, for
Don't use big grammar, please.
why would I?
Which one is affiliation?
To be honest,
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
to be honest, when I think of relationship, what I think of is the norm. Like that's how it is. That's how. Like I actually don't have any tangible reason aside maybe marriage. Like that's how people do. Okay, when you get a certain age, you should be in a
Okay, so you feel
relationship.
like you just want to be in a relationship because it's what is expected.
Yeah.
Ah, 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 ah. You see why I
Yeah,
said
making
there's
me
a
feel
problem.
weird.
That is weird. It's not only weird,
Extremely weird.
is troubling, because you shouldn't, you see, and I know that, that's the problem these days. It's part of, what I was discussing some in one of my videos, because the society places so much demand, and it's like the society has already prepared your life for you, so to say. At this stage you are here, at this stage, you primary school, secondary school, university, and then they have dictated everything for you, and then everybody just following, just entering,
Pattern.
yes, ticking the box. Okay, I've done this. Okay, putting the pieces to the puzzle. Okay, I'm here, and it's not supposed to be, really, ideally it's
Yeah.
not supposed to be. And then I even thought that, I'm sorry, but you're Gen Z, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
of course, I know. So I thought that you guys, it should be different, because you people are rebellious in some ways. So I,
Yeah.
I would have thought that, that is something that you should come to change as well. So if you're going to be in a relationship, I want to, okay, how do you even decide to be in a relationship? Because it should be like, it shouldn't be that, okay, because I'm supposed to. It should be like, okay, I met somebody. Oh, I met somebody today. Oh, and I like this person. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he looks. Oh, I like, like there was a connect. Oh, I like to get to know this person better. Okay. And then you get to know the person better, or no, or you say, okay, normally, okay, let's go for a drink, or let's go blah blah blah, and that's what is called, that should be the dating, not relationship, because most people now they call relationship dating. But dating is when you are getting to know the person, to decide that, okay, I want to be in a relationship with this person. So when you go on a date, like, okay, you just go on a date or two, and then we talk again, and then I get to, okay, oh, I like this person, I like this person. Okay, then you cannot decide to be in a relationship. Then we have to be, okay, so what do you talk about in your long distance relationship, or in your relationship with somebody in the same school and you're not seeing for months? When you meet, what do you talk about?
When is which one of the two?
The relationship, the one in school.
In school, what do we talk about? We just like catch up on how we've been so far. And I'm sorry, but it makes more sense to me because I mean there is more to talk about. There is no
Ah,
safe.
Egba
we,
yo. There's what to talk about.
we catch up on how class has been, how have you, I mean maybe that's what happens when two introverts meet. Because apart from the fact that I'm quite introverted, I'm also socially anxious. I mean, I just started like getting out of that space.
Someone told me that, and I'm like, social anxiety. Kí ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀?
It's a real thing and it's a plague. I'm serious. It is.
But how do you help it? Do you know that I can confidently tell you that these phones that you are using or whatever is part of what is causing the social anxiety?
Yeah.
Because like I said, when I was growing up, and then before phones came, you have to go to the person's house. You go to the person's house, and that was the advent of, okay, assuming I had a boyfriend then, and I go to see my boyfriend, I will go to his house. When I'm going back, he will see me off to my house. I will see him off again. you know we keep seeing each other off like till we are tired, and we now, okay, go, yeah, go, yeah, go, that kind of thing. And then in so doing, you get to know this person, that if I see you today, I see you tomorrow, or okay, let's not say, okay, not okay, I see you today, I see you in another 2 days or 3 days. I get to know this person. You really can't hide.
Yeah.
You really can't hide, unlike these days that, okay, like you're saying now, that long distance relationship, or no, let's even leave long distance. You are in the same school and you're not seeing each other for months, and then you now see each other, and then you catch up, which is cool if you were outside the country or you were in another state, and then you come back and you catch up. But if you are together, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear, what I feel like you want to hear, and I'm going to be at my best behavior. Don't you think so? Yes, because you know I won't want to show the side of myself that is not pleasant, or that I know that you may not like. So while we are there, I'll be saying what you want to hear. I'll be acting the way you want to act. I'll do the gentleman and everything. Because I know that when next time I'm going to see you, probably in another few months. Unlike I'm seeing you every day. I'm seeing every there's no how. If you are this thing, one day, if you are abusive, one day we'll be talking, you just do pow. And I already know that, okay, that's what we are talking about. So I feel like the only way you can combat this social anxiety, because I've heard it before, and of course I heard it from a Gen Z. That's why I said that it's a phone thing, it's a technology thing, because before technology, you have to be physical about these things. You have to actually be there. You have to actually see the person. You have to actually do the thing. Unlike, because with the phone now, I can be in a million and one places, and I'm telling you I'm on my bed.
Yeah.
I can be doing this and I'm telling you something else. I even know people who dated online like that for years, and then you think that, okay, this is the way this person is the way this person is, and then you are meeting the person and the person is totally different. I'm like, but you told me you are this, but you told me, you didn't tell me that you have one leg. And you to be like, you didn't ask, because you just assumed, but you are meeting and you're like, no, you are, no, 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 you have tribal, I don't like tribal, that kind of thing. And then if pictures came into play, okay, send your picture. I can send you any picture.
Yeah.
So that is the downside of this phone thing. But another thing I'm going to ask is that, do you think that, because I've heard you say faith, 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 so I want to believe that you're a Christian.
Yes, I am.
So do you think that your being a Christian has affected you, has affected this relationship thing in a way?
Yes. Well, I'll start from the one I had in school.
Okay.
It has even always affected who I said yes to and who I ignored or who I gave space. It has also informed my decision because I understand that, okay, for context, I work with some set of friends and I know how and what they do in their relationship. So sometimes to avoid
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand sign language.
Okay, let me rephrase. My
Mhm.
faith has informed some of my actions in my relationship because I understand that to start with, we cannot be in close proximity. Like, okay, if we are students, I stay alone, he stays alone. You get, and we cannot. Yeah, we're talking about, okay, this is personal to me since it's about faith. I mean, I understand that, okay, scripture says that flee all appearances of evil. I mean, it says appearance, not
Who
even
is
evil.
who is evil in this part, in this
No, it's
context now? Is
I'm-
it you? Is it?
the action or whatever might ensue is the in fact appearance. It says flee all appearances, not even the evil itself. So I mean anything can happen. I mean that's even what later ended the relationship because we were clearly not on the same page on that regard. I mean, I on the
Okay.
we know
When you say
oh my
when you
goodness.
say close proximity,
Yes.
what exactly do you mean? You cannot be in the same space.
Like okay, we can be in the same space but not alone in the same space because we are in a relationship clearly and
Exactly.
1001 things can happen with
Like-
people in relationship. Yes, now we could go physical and those are the things that I'm talking about. And clearly and okay, as at then I was the prayer and evangelism coordinator, so I had a reputation to uphold. And it's not even because reputation or no reputation. I knew the demands of my faith. As at when I was 16, I already wrote a book on purity. So I understood. I, I understood
Are you sure not be pastor you marry like this?
so I understood the zones that should not be overstepped. I understood what could happen. And actually, to be truthful, that was what later like brought us apart.
But don't you think that if you are going to be in that kind of relationship, and then if you, okay, you know your fate and all that, don't you think you ought to talk about your boundaries from the start? And then what are the boundaries exactly? Because when you say you can't be employed, when you say physical, what level of physical? Are you talking about premarital sex? Or are you just talking about, okay, we hold hands, we hug? What exactly are you talking about?
We spoke about the boundaries. We spoke about the boundaries, but I didn't even expect there was going to be an issue later on. But we were clear on the boundaries. Given the circumstance behind our meeting, I wasn't even supposed to agree, but hearing my opinion on what I can do and what I cannot do, he agreed to. We agreed that there was not going to be premarital sex, there was not going to be like kissing and all of those things. We agreed, but we hug, we hold hands. In fact, we hang out with mutual
How will you not
friends.
kiss somebody that you are in a relationship with?
Well, it's an appearance of evil. That like one of my pastors would say, you cannot clap. When you are clapping for too long, you will dance alongside.
Yeah, must you clap for too long?
Ma. These are two people in a relationship. They feel something for each other. Rather, they feel something for each other. They are not strangers. So there's.
Was he a Christian too?
Yes, he is.
If he was a Christian too, you both believe in the same faith.
Yes.
Right? So you should both have the same beliefs. So you should have your boundaries. So as you are thinking it, you should be thinking it. So we know that, okay, this is what we cannot do, this is what we can do. Although I know that there are a few cases where the lines can blur,
Yeah.
But then we know that, okay, we are in a relationship, we can't have premarital sex. But then that does not mean that, I don't know, we can be close.
Yeah.
You can hug. We can hold hands. That's PDA. You can show affection without having
we
sex.
We even exchange gifts. We do all sorts.
Gift is different.
We hug, we hold hands, but he wanted more. And
what did you want? Premarital sex or kiss?
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Which one? Because if it's kiss and then you're on the same page, that's like, you see, I'm very, very big on communication.
Yeah.
I'm big on communication because if you are communicating, I want to believe we're on the same page. If we are saying, okay, this is it, this is what I can do, this is where we can go, this is where we can stop, this is where we can start. Okay, I understand that, okay, when you're in a relationship with somebody and then you are seeing the person, of course, their feelings and all that. But then if you are of the same faith and then you hold it dear, you both hold it dear, you know that, okay, this is where we can stop. Okay, when you kiss or you give peck on the lips, or you kiss and then it looks like, okay, you disentangle, you can't go further than that and all that. Because let me let you know that you see all these things there. Of course, I know that some people have the choices. I've made the choices of premarital sex. I don't want to have sex, which is good, because everybody for their own, and I respect people's choices. It's your choice, But there are some things that you need to do in a relationship to solidify the relationship, to know the other person better. Yes.
I'm trying to get. Okay, so what are the things that?
Okay, I'm just saying, there's how can you be in a relationship with somebody and then you are not hugging, you are not kissing? How will you even know if the person can kiss?
You don't need to know.
I
think that's the biggest.
Okay.
This generation.
Okay, let me tell you something now. You know I'm not a Gen Z.
Yes.
So I have enough experience by reason of experience and by reason of age. And then by reason of data and facts, I can tell you for a fact right now that sex is one of the major causes of divorce now.
I'm not going to dispute that. But one thing I would just say in passing is that the reason why people have sex in marriage is because they've developed a taste even before marriage. So they know what is not. They know when they know when someone is underperforming.
My darling, if you have never kissed before and somebody should kiss you and you don't like it, you don't like it. Okay, so if you have never kissed before and someone kisses you and you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't have to have had a prior whatever that, oh, this is how it is. Do you know that? And you also know. Oh, you don't know that.
Because I've seen otherwise. I've seen stories, I've heard stories of people that came together by the reason of alignment. In fact, these people, okay, this particular story I heard, these people, they've not known each other for so long. When they came together, when they got to know each other, the odds were in their favor. Within 6 months, they got married. And they're doing fine. And when I watched the story of these people, the lady was even saying that she wasn't attracted to the guy per se, but looking at the circumstance behind them meeting each other, like they were sure that this was meant to be, and they are happily married. Like I feel like people are looking for what is not lost.
No, I don't
Like
think so.
you can't see. Okay, you said rightly so. You said nobody's perfect. Like you can learn to desire whosoever you are with. You can learn to. Okay, for someone that has explored a lot.
Desire is not learnt.
No, you
What do you
can't.
mean desire? Learn to
You
desire.
can suit each other's taste, and I feel like if you've not explored, you won't have a taste. Like okay, if you check most people now that know when something is good and when something is bad in this context we are talking about, it means they've tried what was good.
Okay,
And
what
they
you are
know
trying
that
wait,
this
what
one
you are trying to tell me now is that don't try it, so that even when you get into it and it is bad, you should live with it.
you cannot know if it's bad. That's the thing.
You will know
Because
if something
you've
is
not
bad.
done it before.
Okay,
No.
let me tell you something now. Let me tell you something now, because okay, this is going to come from some people that maybe they had a problem with their marriage and then blah blah blah. I've met a lot of women, who were in marriages. To start with, there are a lot of women who have the mentality that sex is just for babies.
Yeah.
That's okay. Sex is just for babies. That's one. Then two, there are a lot more women too who think that sex is just for the man. I'm just there to pleasure the man. So I'm not supposed to enjoy anything. It's for the man. So I'm his tool. I'm his tool for satisfaction. And it's not supposed to be that way. You are supposed to get satisfaction as well. So there are a lot of women in that bandwagon. There are some women that be married for 5-10 years, and then you ask them, because all these things cannot, apart from exploring, apart from saying that okay, because they've explored before, these people, they've not explored before, but then some things, because things keep evolving, you go out, you meet people on your phone and blah blah blah, so you meet people and then they are talking about orgasm, like orgasm blah blah blah, or this and that, and then you're like, what are they talking about? Because I've also met a lot of women who say, what is it that there's nothing to this sex, that there is nothing there, you are just hyping rubbish, that there's really nothing there, that's and then I like to talk to those type of women, because I now want to know, what kind of sex are you having that you say there's nothing there? Because if you are really having the sex that you are supposed to be having, you can never tell me that there's nothing there, because there's actually something there. And I don't make the rules, because it's God that did it like that.
Definitely.
Exactly. For pleasure, not just for having children, So when you now begin to go deeper, go deeper, you now find out that these women, they are not having the kind of sex they are supposed to be having. One, they've never even had orgasms. One, they don't even know where the pleasure points in their body. They don't even know what is supposed to be what and what is supposed to be that, because they entered in blindly, which could mean that they entered in as virgins and all that. And sometimes even the partners they got in with, may not be virgins, but they are not going to, because like you have said now, if you're a virgin, you don't know better. So I've married a virgin now. I am not going the extra mile. She doesn't know better. So it's what I give her that I give her.
Well, I think
it's
that
okay. Don't worry. Let me let you off easy, because if I say you should go up, you just keep going up. Well, I know what I'm saying, but maybe with time you understand what I'm saying. Okay, now, what are your plans for this social anxiety?
This is one of it. Yeah, because I could have easily not just come. That was me a few years back. Normally, when I was young, when I was pretty much a teenager, if I'm in the group of friends, now I'm not even talking about stranger, like a group of friends, and we are talking about something, I'm not able to give my input because I start to think, what if I say nonsense? What if I don't make sense? So, but my plans are talking to people more, not rejecting offers. Like, also, I've been watching some YouTube videos about communication, how to talk, how to be confident. And I think I've improved greatly. Like, I have improved greatly. So I'm on that path. I'm working towards it because I know that it's going to rob me of a lot of like
Yes,
opportunities.
exactly. Because you never know
So,
where you meet someone who, may help you for something, or, you need
yeah,
to, because we're not even created that way. We are not created to be lone beings.
to
We're
be,
created to,
yeah.
to communicate with each other. So apart from this place now, what do you go to places where there are crowds? Do you go to parties? Do you go to
I don't
things?
go to parties.
Okay.
I've never been a party person. Like, even when I finished secondary school, they used to have parties like every Friday. I've never gone for any. I've never liked social gatherings. Well, maybe now I'm just trying to adapt. But and I think one of the major tools that God have used to bring me out of this is church, because I have to be present in every church service, in every unit meeting. And our church is the kind that always come up with programs that brings everyone
Yeah,
together.
yes.
So I have to talk. I have to, and I'm in a community of people that, bring out that, talking in me. So, and one of the things I've also been doing is spontaneous speaking. Like at
Okay.
home, I just take up my camera and then say something for 3 minutes. Do you understand? Like, I just talk about something for 3 minutes, talk about anything. And again, I'm also in the line where I have to create content. So
Content,
all
yeah.
of this put together is helping.
It will get better.
Yes, it will.
Okay, so are you of the school of thought of people who say you can do 50-50 with their partners, or would you rather your partner?
Yes, I actually can do 50-50.
No, let me not use can. Will you?
Yes,
Which would you prefer?
I will do 50-50. Well, will I say that I like a man being a provider and I also like taking initiatives? I think two truths can coexist. I like a man that provides, and I would do 50-50 too, if need be.
If need be. Okay,
Yes.
so
But
that clause is important. If need be.
Yeah, but need will always be, because if you are not married to an odogu and you are gainfully employed, I mean, you have to bring something, because at some point it will get burdensome. You get, so it might not even be 50-50, like literally it could be 70-30.
Yeah.
But there has to be some way that you are easing off the financial burden.
Yes.
I mean, I think
when it
that's very
comes to-
important. If you are not, if the man is not, wealthy, and if he's a 9 to 5 guy, you have to do
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah, so, and I feel like people are getting married to their enemies, because there are some issues that should not. Okay, I was reading a tweet where this lady said, okay, she said that she has been using her husband's car, or so. Okay, she has been using her husband's car. So they use it, they share it, but she uses it more. So she was not going to buy a car for him. Like,
Okay.
she will keep using that one,
And buy him a new one.
and buy him a new one. So it wasn't going to be a surprise. They went to the car shop together.
Oh, okay.
And then she wanted to buy it in her name. And the husband was like, it will be in my name. And the wife was like, long and short,
Back and forth.
it caused a divorce. And I'm like,
It will cause divorce now.
you people are marrying your enemy, because I don't care less.
Okay, because she said she was going to buy it for him. She wanted to buy him a car. So why is she putting this in her name? Or just say that I'm buying, or just say exactly, just say I'm buying another car that we can both be using, or that I'm buying a car, but you can be using it. But when you say that you're buying a car for him and you now want to put your name,
I feel like people are really marrying their enemies, because sometimes when I see some takes online, I'm like, you're already projecting on someone you've not even married. When they say, make sure you lock your property so you shouldn't be able to inherit it, I'm like, bro, like,
she won't be able to inherit it.
all those kind of,
Who will now inherit it?
like, I don't understand. I feel like people, there are so much stakes or so much inherent mindset that people are. I don't even understand this generation, but I feel like people are just marrying their enemy because I don't know what.
You know, part of the problem is that people, you know, like I was mentioning earlier, people do not really get to know who they are getting married to.
Exactly.
They don't, they
Yeah.
don't, they don't, they don't. And then this is why, you know, it seemed like I was kind of countering you, you know, at the beginning, because I know for a fact that this thing happens mostly in church. Because when you know, sister, brother, okay, we meet, and then most men, well, maybe now it's changing, you know, but I don't know. Because they feel like if you want to marry, you go to the church. You know, you find that everybody wants to marry, go to church. In fact, it still obtains. Even the female, I want to go to, and you see that pretty cocoa brother that is speaking in tongues. Ah, okay, yeah, I want to marry somebody like that. It's very prayerful.
People in the world are going to church too,
Oh,
so they are the ones
exactly, you know. But you know, these days, I would rather you come as you are. You don't even have to be a church goer. I would rather you come as you are. I see you as you are, than come as a tongue speaking. What's that word they always say? Fire clinical, word clinical, the brother, and like you are coming from the church. Because when you say you are coming from church, I have an expectation.
Yeah.
I have an expectation that, oh, okay, great, you're a Christian, you know, you have your values, you understand the Bible, you love God, if you love God, you will love women, and respect women,
Yes.
you know what you are supposed to do and all that. But then you find out that it is usually the opposite.
Yeah.
It's usually the opposite. But of course, everybody pretends. Everybody pretends. Like, oh, I meet a sister in church. Okay. And I am supposed to be a certain way. You know, I'm supposed to behave a certain way. So I will definitely behave that certain way. You know, we'll both be behaving that certain way. Until I do. When you now I do, that's when your innate, you know, character and all that will now be coming out, which I didn't see because of many reasons. Maybe because, okay, we are both Christians, we are not supposed to get to know each other this way, we are not supposed to, you know, so there are things that I didn't get to know. But now that we are living together, you can't hide.
Yeah. I think, okay, there's something I heard from one of my pastors. He said that church is like an hospital. Like there are sick people there. Like that. Okay, I remember when I was very young, my mom, you know, whenever I do something, she'll say, "Hey, boy, you go to church, you do this," and I'm like, that is why I go to
In
church.
church, yes, exactly. That's why I tell people that church is not for perfect people.
Yes.
It's for perfecting people, you know, because everybody in church. Okay, why are you in church?
That's the thing, because we all need transformation. We are all struggling with one thing or the other. That is why you hear pastors preach different sermon at different points in time, because there's someone going. We are not perfect. Some people are even women bitter, coming to church seeking for change. I want to change. I want to do this. So we are not perfect. Even people in church are not perfect as well.
They are not. That's what we are saying.
So
if you say somebody that is beating somebody is coming to church to God to help him, how do you know that God have helped him? How do you know God have finished helping him before you marry him? And then you will now marry him, he will now get a trigger, because there's no how. Even when you have completely been healed of whatever, there's no how you will not still get triggers at some point. You know, the triggers will be coming like that. So the only way you can know that, oh, I'm fully healed, is when the trigger comes, you know, you are able to comport yourself, or you won't act the way you would have, you know, acted before. That's the way. But these days,
I think the main point of picking a spouse in church is looking for people that are doers of the word. Because the truth is that a lot of people just come, hear the word and go. Like, okay, there's a particular part of scriptures that says that it was talking about the heart of man, and it was using soil to describe it. So it says that there are some, okay, it relates the word of God to like seed. Some will fall on rocky soil, it won't germinate. And there's the good soil whereby it grows and yields fruit. So when someone is a doer of the word, you know, when you hear things that triggers or that speaks to that your shortcoming, you can be able to sit down and work on it and know what you are doing. But I think that even the church is helping, because they've set up systems. Like now we have the counseling units. We have, like, there are a lot of provisions from church to ensure that people are well catered for and their needs are attended to. For example, now if you are struggling with something, and that also comes with being intentional, right? So it really is not just about going to church, but about your intentionality.
Exactly.
How
About
are
wanting
you?
to change,
Yes.
girl.
How are you?
Because
Towards growth?
all the things may be available, but you are not, putting
Yes.
yourself down for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I agree with that.
it's a tricky business.
It is, but it's still safer in church if you ask me. No, people from the world that don't come into church, but it's still safer.
Honestly, I don't believe it's safer.
Wow.
I would rather meet someone in the world and know that this person is coin. So I know that this person has coin. I know how to deal with this person. Than somebody that is putting on, sheep clothing that is like, brother, oh holy, and then I find out that maybe the opportunity now arises and now see that
but do you know
is here,
but do you know why? Okay, I remember a statement someone made that even if you are picking a spouse from the church, don't marry someone that is not submitted to someone. Like there is a guidance over that person. Like, okay, for example, now we are all as Christians, we have people that we submit to. And okay, I have someone I submit to that I say, okay, this is what I'm struggling with in my faith. This is what. So that's what he's trying to say, that don't be with someone that is not, someone that doesn't have someone that can speak to him and say, what are you doing? Don't marry someone that doesn't have an authority over him. That is why another person. Yes, by communication, you will know. You will know now. Because like you said, in the period of dating and getting to know the person, it will tell you about the people that matter to him, the people that are in his life, the people that he speaks to, and probably even introduce you to them in the course of.
Except that.
Yeah.
Because he can tell you and it will not, and that's not it. He can just tell you for, just to tell you that, just to make it seem like, oh, I'm grounded, like, oh, this person, because people say a lot these days.
That's true. You never can be too careful.
You can't.
Yeah.
So would you say that you are a feminine woman?
No. I'm trying to step into my feminine. But I don't even need to think twice about it. No. Why? Because of my upbringing, basically. Okay. I didn't grow up. I grew up with a single mom. My dad is still alive, but we didn't. Okay. So I've learned to figure things out yourself, on my own. Yeah. Like, even when it comes to my demeanor or my attitude, it screams guy. Yeah. So I'm trying to in fact, I was still thinking that if I get to be in a relationship, that if you cannot bring out that feminine part of me, please be going, because yeah, even in my past relationship, I've had to be, because I know better. Like I'm always more knowledgeable. I'm always more I'm always on the more side. So I've always had to step into shoes that don't let me rest in my feminine nature. So yes,
don't you think that's a problem? Why are you picking those that are less? less.
Okay, it's not like normally I don't. Less can be more, actually, but what is okay? If I meet someone and there's
what kind of man will bring out your feminine energy?
The one that steps up. Well,
steps up how?
Okay, let me give you an example.
Okay.
We had a shoot in my church for people. Okay, our youth church clocked 8 years. So they asked some people that have been in church for a certain number of time to come and, say their story. And while I was there, a particular guy was there too, and he was like, Nikki, how are you? Do you need anything? Have you eaten? And it was not usual.
Exactly.
Intentional man. I was telling myself that I used to think I like act of service, but now I think what's information?
I couldn't stop. Like both, right? It's possible to have
I couldn't stop thinking about that gesture. I was like, I feel like a princess.
Of course, because every woman wants to be treated like a princess.
Yeah, and I was like,
that's good. So, it's funny because men these days, they are like, I want a woman in her feminine energy. I want a woman in her feminine energy. But what are you doing about that?
Exactly.
How do you want to get the woman in her feminine energy? You know, when I say it, when I say that it's a man that will bring out that feminine in that woman, they are always fighting.
Yeah, yes.
They are always fighting that, no, why should it be the one? If you are feminine, you are feminine. It's a woman that will bring out the feminine in a it's a man that will bring out the feminine in a woman, because it's the way you treat her. And then in that way, you will even have no problems with submission. You will have no problem with submission, because when she's fully in an feminine, she will just submit to you, because you have already showed that, okay, you are leading the way and you know what you are doing and all that, and she will have no problem.
I can almost say that in all the relationships I've been in, I've been like, I'm the initiator. Like, I take initiatives. That's how crazy it is. Very tragic.
No, that's a good.
Yeah, so I'm not in that era anymore. No. It's exhausting.
I can imagine that can be really exhausting. Yeah. So how do you think you can find someone that will step up?
I don't know. Now you ask a question that why do I choose less? Because it's less that is coming.
It's less that is available.
That is showing up.
That is showing up. Okay, you see, less may be showing up because maybe you are probably not intentional yourself. And that could involve your not going out, not meeting people, not meeting that. So it's the one that comes to you that you are taking. Have you thought about it that way? Because the more you go out, the more you meet people. You meet different kinds of people. And it doesn't even have to be a party. It doesn't even have to be a party. It could be a get-together, it could be a seminar, it could be, just places that people are. And then, there's a thing that we do. We like to judge a thing before we experience it. Yeah, so, like, should I use a party? Okay, let's use a party. When you hear that, okay, there's a party, so you have already, I'm not a party person, I'm not going, no. What are they going to be doing in the party? So your mind is already telling you that, no, it's not for you, you can't get anything there. Meanwhile, you can go to that party now and meet somebody amazing that you will not believe that you can meet that kind of person at that place, because it's a potpourri of people now. You don't know, somebody else could have invited the person, or you go for these seminars, or you go for all these events that they bring up, whether at the beach or all this sip and paint, all this, you get to meet a lot of people. But if you just stay in your own this thing and say, okay, the person will find me, it's the one that you don't want that will be finding.
I think I will take that into consideration.
Exactly, please take it into consideration. So what do you intend to do after your ICANN? What kind of work do you want to do? Do you want to work for yourself? Do you want to work for, what do you want to do?
I want to work in an audit firm. That's always been I've worked as an auditor before, but it's in a real estate company. Okay. So it's just like a department. So I want to work for an audit firm. That's one of the things that I want to achieve. I love, as I said, auditing. I love numbers. I love attention to details. And I love audits. Like, I really love that role. So I'm looking to work in a 9-to-5 again after my exam. So that's
okay. So you don't have any, would we call the content creation thing a hobby? You don't have any hobby that you may want to explore and use as a side thing?
That is not monetized.
That will be monetized, definitely. That will be monetized, then the one that will also not be monetized.
Okay, that will be monetized has to be talking about business. I mean, my mom is a trader, like she sells. So I've grown to study customers, and I grew that inclination towards business. Also, when I was like, I think 15, 16, we had a particular tenant that was into marketing and business. Okay. So I used to run errands for him. I used to help him, and he teaches me some stuff. So from a young age, I've grown that passion. Even if it was not there before, like, it grew from that instant. So I would say that all my interest to fall back on business. It could maybe be other parts of business, maybe when I explore, but it's still business. But when it comes to non-paid hobbies, this year I'll be 25. So
Okay.
I'm
It's a
planning
landmark
of
age.
exploring other hobbies. To be honest, I've always been alone. Like from when I was small even till now, like I've not explored much, to be honest.
Hmm.
And
You need to start. 25
yeah,
is a good age to start.
yes, that's what I want to do.
It's a good age to start.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Like I compiled a list, 25 things to do before 25. So I
Correct.
want to try dancing actually. I want to try this molding, this pottery thing. So I want to try a lot of things and
You know, it
see.
just occurred to me now. Have you ever gone to the gym, or have you ever thought about going to the gym? Because
Yes,
that's a good place to also meet
yes.
people
I
of
I
diverse, you know.
I signed up for gym up until September because I had exam by November.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to resume maybe next month or
Okay.
something.
Because
Yeah.
that's a good place to start, because you meet people there, you get to
Yeah,
interact with people.
definitely. I met
Yes.
people.
So mm,
Yeah.
that is that is
But
a good place.
sometimes when I think of how limited I am in exposure, I'm like, okay.
Yes, because you really, because they say regret is a bitter pill, you know, because
Mm.
you're not getting any younger. You're 25 now. You don't want to look bad by the time you're 50 and you're wondering, I could have done this. Oh, I would have done this, and you know. So it's always better to explore, because when you even explore, that's when you can easily say that this one is not for me. No, this one no. Because if you have not tried, you won't know. You just be using other people's experiences or ideas and whatever to say, they say it's not good, so it's not good. No, but it's until you try it yourself, and that's when you can know that it is good, or it wasn't good for you, but it is good for me. So when do you hope to settle down?
Well, according to what I wrote as a teenager, 26.
That's next year. Oh.
By 26, yeah. But now, looking at it now, not even because I know anything can happen. People meet and click and then get set up for life. But no,
But in the
I'm
clicking,
not
please,
even interested.
in the clicking, you need to know the person. Don't just click alone.
Yeah.
You need to know the person well. At least, although I know they say that you can never completely know a person. You can't. No matter, even people that have been married 20, 40 years, there's still a part of you that will always remain with you, that you're not sharing with anybody. But at least to a safe extent, that you can say that okay, I know this person, or you can say this person cannot do this. Okay, this person is can do this and what. And then it's always better to marry someone who is kind.
Yeah.
That one is key, because if the person is kind, even if something goes awry, because of the kindness of the person, the kindness will affect the way the person will treat you and treat the situation. Unlike someone who is not kind, who does not care, who just, there's an issue and the person blows, or the person does not care about you, does not care about your feelings, does not care about people around you, does not care, So it's always better that you know that this person, no matter how bad it gets, this person will do the right thing. Will do the right thing, will behave the right way, that will not, rub off badly, on you and people around you. So it's always better that way. So 26. You need
But it
to.
might not be 26 because I'm not even mentally, I'm not ready.
Why?
Because I feel like there are so many things I need to get done. Like I need to finish my exam. I need to start. Like there are so
When
many
are you
things to
finishing your
fix.
exam?
I should finish this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like there are so many things to get done. Like I need to settle down. And like I need
thought
to
settling down is marriage.
like myself, I need to be settled. I'm not to some extent I'm not very independent. So there are a lot of areas in my life that needs, some touches, and even emotionally, like I'm not there yet. So
basically, you need to find yourself
find myself
before somebody else will find you.
That's the word.
That's key. Okay. So I want to ask you this last question now. You told me that you were raised by a single mom.
Yes, I was.
Okay. So do you think that really affects a person, being raised by a single parent and being raised by both parents? Do you think it really affects?
Yes, it does.
How?
Because I begin to project my experiences on other people, even when it even comes to my relationship with God. Okay, for example, now let me use relationship with God as an example. if you bring someone who is from a very lovable home and otherwise, their approach to God will be different. Why? Because most times and oftentimes we often project our experiences on our relationship with God. You'll see some people that are very vocal with God and can talk to God about anything, most likely because they can talk to their parents about anything. And otherwise too. So it's affected like all around, even how I deal with the opposite sex. I remember when there was a particular issue I had with the person I was dating in school, and it led to like raising of voice. And in my mind, when I was telling my friend, I was like, this guy is just like my dad. You get like, why am I meeting everybody like him? So it has affected how I see men, and that's one of the reasons why I said finding myself, because I have a subtle notion of men that I need to like dismiss from my mind. Maybe that's even what is affecting the lens at which I see people. So it has a
That's true. You're
significant
very right. But you know, another thing that I understand what you're saying, and of course I can relate very, very well. But another thing is that you know that there are people who have both parents and they are still not in a loving relationship. They are not in a loving family. Both parents are there, but they, in one way, they are absent. In another way, they are not absent, but they are still not in a loving relationship, because I've seen people like that, you know. And that's why, you know, sometimes I'm like, the fact that you were raised by a single parent does not mean that you will not turn out right, or does not mean
definitely.
that those who were raised by both parents will turn out better, because there are even some people who were raised by both parents who are not even turning out well at all, you know. So it really depends on, I don't even know. It depends on, is it God, I mean, is it the family or the people or even the individual, you know. As much as that void will always remain, I know that
And for some
that
people,
void
it's
is
even always the mother. Sometimes the father has a clean sheet. And it's like this guy, Hermes, this celebrity.
yes.
Like in his case, it was the mother that was absent in his life.
Yes,
so
yes.
it could be any of the genders.
Yes, it could be any of the gender, and it still does not negate the effect.
Yes.
It does not negate the
doesn't
effect. Even
negate
if it's the
effect.
mother, you will still
You
feel,
still
in
feel,
fact, you feel that one gone, you feel that one a lot, and then you feel that, God help us. How many kids are you hoping to have? Do you like it?
Yeah, I love children a lot.
You have like a dozen.
No, I think the least will be 3, the most will be 4. Because I even used to wish that we're more than 2. Like I like a full house, but it can't be more than 4. If it's going to be more than 4, then there'll be adopted children. Definitely.
You have 4, you not adopt.
Yes. I love to have people around. And I've always I've always desired adoption. Yes, the feeling of allowing someone else experience a home to stay. I think that's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good thing, but it's not for all of us.
I actually do.
It's not for all of us. Okay, thank you so much. I wish you the best, the very, very best going forward. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you,
We appreciate you, and I hope that you come next time when we call.
I will. I had so much fun here.
Good. I did too. So viewers, thank you. I'm sure you enjoyed this conversation like I did. In fact, I don't want to stop, but my DOP is making signs to me, so we have to stop. So don't forget to share this video. I'm sure there are lots of things to learn in this video. So don't forget to share and also like and subscribe so that you get notifications when we come out with lovely videos like this, and follow us on all our social media handles at The Eagle Online. See ya. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.